Good evening, everyone. I received another question which I think many people might resonate with. So, this lady says, I have recently found your videos on YouTube as well as Rameshji's videos, and I feel it resonates within me. 2 years ago, I had lost motivation to do my business as a building contractor. At that time, I felt that my mind was shut down by something within me. So the job was not interesting anymore. I quit the job. Something seemed to grow within me. I felt peace inside. Up to now, it seems that my mind is not working anymore. Something happens spontaneously and my daily life is taken care of. I lost motivation to plan for my life. Everything seems to be just flowing. My question is this normal or is this some kind of laziness in me? You see, there are many unanswered aspects to this question, but if we explore it from the start, where she says, I had lost motivation to do my business, we assume that something happened and this motivation was not lost because business was bad or sales had gone down. So we would assume that that was all fine. And as she says, I felt that my mind was shut down by something within me. And so the job was not interesting anymore. So assuming that in the working environment, there is no direct reason for this happening and it was something beyond her control, then it was meant to happen since it was not her doing. And the outcome of that, as this lady says, I felt peace inside me. So when she says, I felt that my mind was shut down, we must assume what is being referred to is the thinking mind. The thinking mind of the ego. Up to now, it seems that my mind is not working anymore. Something happens spontaneously and my daily life is taken care of. So, if daily life is taken care of, that means one can assume that one's financial needs are being met. The real problem would be what happens in this scenario if I need the money. If I need the money and I find I am unable to work. The whole point here, and it would depend on each individual's case, the whole point is whether any doership was involved or it happened as per the will of the source. If it happened as per the will of the source, then there is no choice in the matter. There is absolutely no choice in the matter. Now the working mind may not be engaged in work because the motivation to work is finished, but certainly the working mind works in terms of daily living, not only planning for the future as such, but even today. We cannot live without this aspect of the mind unless we are isolated and on our own somewhere where we are not engaging with society as well as things to take care of and so on and so forth. So, if everything seems to be just flowing, which is the line on which this whole text ends, everything seems to be just flowing, that is most beautiful, because it implies things are happening on their own without much involvement in them, without much doership being exercised, which is a beautiful space to be. So, therefore, if things are flowing, there is no question of laziness. You see, the laziness would be if you were not comfortable with the way you felt as a result of all this, you are not flowing with what is, you felt demotivated to work, and so there was a deliberate act, no matter how subtle, to towards laziness, you see. So the main thing here is wanting to do something and not wanting to do something are both aspects of doership. So the answer to this is, whether it is some kind of laziness, you would already know. You would know deep down whether you are being lazy or whether something has happened spontaneously. All effort to exercise the mind has dropped away. You are resting in what is, you are going with the flow, in which case there is no question of laziness. So this is perhaps something where the answer is already within. And in this specific case, I would say that since it seems quite clear that something happened without any volition and the person is comfortable because daily life is taken care of, everything seems to be just flowing, therefore it does not appear to be an issue of laziness. You see, the other aspect is, what about people who face setbacks in life and because of that they get demotivated and lose interest in work? Are they being lazy? See, the whole point is that if one has setbacks in life, at work for example, then it is quite natural that motivation is lost. So it's really not a question of laziness. Some people have the ability to push on and push forward. Some people had it and they find over time they are losing that. Either way, that ability is not in one's control. So it may appear as laziness, but it may not necessarily be so, because if one is meant to work, that work happens through that person. So it is a very case by case kind of a situation, and it cannot be one answer for everyone. But generally speaking, laziness is when you know you should be doing something, you are unable to do it, and you judge that being unable to do it as being lazy because perhaps deep down you realize that you are not motivated enough to do it. Therefore, if that is called being lazy, even that is meant to happen. whether or not you act on that laziness is also destined, is also God's will. So ultimately, laziness or no laziness, it is truly not in one's control, though it may appear to be so. Thank you.